Come with me, and we are gonna go visit one of my dearest friends. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Reading with Will. I'm Will. Welcome to the final part of my favorite book of all time, book 3 of the Poppy War trilogy, The Burning God. Well, I'm kind of sad. I'm pretty sad. You're gonna hear me talk about this through all my YouTube videos because this is such a big book in my life. And it's everywhere, it's everything. Making sequel videos to the first book is really hard because I don't want to spoil anything, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a lot of big plot points and big things that happen that I can't talk about. So I'm going to be very vague. I'm picking and choosing what I'm going to read from the synopsis. So let us see. Bang Grunin was betrayed by allies and left for dead. Despite her losses, Rin hasn't given up on those for whom she has sacrificed so much. The people of the southern provinces, and especially Takani, the village that is her home. Returning to her roots, Rin meets difficult challenges and unexpected opportunities. While her new allies in the Southern Coalition leadership are sly and untrustworthy, Rin quickly realizes that the real power in Nikon lies with the millions of common people who thirst for vengeance and revere her as a goddess of salvation. As her power and influence grow, though, will she be strong enough to resist the Phoenix's intoxicating voice, urging her to burn the world and everything in it? I don't know. We'll see. Basically, there was a bunch of betrayals in the Dragon Republic, the book before. A lot of betrayals. And she has never been more angry. She has never been more vengeful. You go into each one being like, okay, she's mad. Peak anger. Peak anger. And it's deadly. It's deadly for everyone involved. Rin is the most powerful character of all time, in my opinion, but definitely leave a comment on who you think the most powerful person of all time is, and I'll reply to you and tell you that that's not true, and that Rin is the most powerful. As we know, these books are not lighthearted in the slightest. They are very, very dark. If I had to say a favorite, I might say this one. I don't know. I said in the last video, I can't pick a favorite, but I love this book. I love this book, and it hurts. Oh, it hurts. It really hurts. Ugh. This book is seeing Rin at her worst. It's interesting to see her justify all the things she does, because some of the things she does are just evil and cruel and disappointing. But that's the masterpiece of R.F. Kuang. She puts you in the head of this character who does atrocities, and you really feel for her. And we also see the consequences of becoming a shaman. So I want to talk about some of the themes of the trilogy as a whole. I've been really excited to talk about them. This first one is what R.F. Kuang says is the overarching theme, the overarching thing she's trying to communicate to the audience, and it's a question. And that question is, are violent communist uprisings justifiable when the West is trying to colonize? And it also says is violence justifiable? Can you justify it? Which is also another big theme in her book Babel. Another big theme is that people are shaped by their circumstances. Nobody sees themselves as the villain. How do you justify necessary evil? So I talked a little bit about the history of the world of the book, and I talked about how there were 3 Poppy Wars. The second one was when Spear went down. But also in the second one is when we see these really big heroes come into it. So this is before Rin's time. But they call themselves the trifecta. There are 3 children that become shamans. They get old, as children do, but they become shamans, and they're the most powerful people ever. They can wipe out entire armies by themselves. So there's the Dragon Emperor, the Viperess, and the Gatekeeper. Hesperia did help assist make this win for Nikon in the second Poppy War, but they couldn't have done it without the trifecta. So we see some of them. They're always talked about in the books, but we never really see them. So they play a really big role in this book. The trifecta also were able to rally all the different provinces in Nikon to find peace, which is a word that's not really used in these books. Where was their peace? Where? Let's talk a little bit about the characters that we see in this book. But obviously there's Ren. I said her most angry, her most vengeful, her most dangerous. Ren does girl boss a little too close to the sun in this book. She always does, but a little too close to the sun. This is when I really start, like, I defend Ren, and I will always defend Ren. When I was like, dang, Ren, please don't do that. Don't do that, Ren. Like, this is really just not okay anymore. And then there's Katai, our little cinnamon roll. He's still a cinnamon roll. He'll always be a cinnamon roll. But this is when we truly see Katai's fatal flaw, and that is he is complicit. He is complicit in Ren's actions. Then we obviously see Neja. I'm not gonna really speak on Neja because a lot of spoilers involve him, but hard life, mixed feelings about Neja. And then we obviously get our girl Venka. She gets more like screen time, more like we see more content of Venka in this book, thankfully, because I love her. She is a baddie, and she's been through so much, and she has made so many sacrifices that are always overlooked. But love her and Ren's friendship, because early in the first book when they're at the school, they are not besties, but we like get to see the female friendship evolve, thankfully. And then we got Jiang, who is Ren's mentor, who taught her about shamanism. He is the gatekeeper of the trifecta. Then there is the Empress, Sudaji, who I've also spoken about. She is the Vipress. And then there is the Dragon Emperor. His name is Riga, and he's like the most powerful person. And it's really up in the air who's more powerful, him or Ren. But you know where I'm at. You know where I'm thinking. Also discussing romance in this book. A lot of people ask, oh, is there romance in these books? Look, there's no time for love. There's no time for romance. This is a war. This is war. And there are some elements, but it's not an A plot, it's not a B plot, it's not a C plot, it's not a D plot, it's an E plot at best. And the little moments you do get, they're the best. They're so great. And I think that turns some people off of this book, but there are elements of it in here, and there is love in here. It's just not like, we're in love, yay, kiss, kiss. Ren has got too much other stuff happening for her. She's too mad. Now we're gonna talk about the ending. It was very sad. Very sad just by everything that happened, just that it was over. I cried a lot of tears, I really did. But at the same time, it ended the way it was supposed to. I'm not gonna say it was satisfying because it wasn't satisfying, but it felt like a bookend, you know? It ended the way it was supposed to. It also gave you kind of hope, but it also didn't, but like it did give you hope in like this weird, different kind of hope way. So there's that. I don't know, but all I know is that I know this isn't like season 8 of Game of Thrones ending. No, this was, you obviously can tell it was planned, and history moves in such vicious circles. Let us talk about what song this reminds me of. And the song that it reminds me of is The Great War by Taylor Swift. It's like perfect, and all the little my popular friends on TikTok agree. If you like Poppy War edits, if you want to see some Poppy War edits, I've been waiting years for someone to ask me about my theories. I have a lot. So let me know if you want me to send any TikTok Poppy War edits. But that is gonna wrap up my part 3 of my favorite book of all time. Thank you for watching, guys. I really bloody appreciate it. Make sure you like this video, turn on the little notification bell because I post once a week and you should all know the exact moment when that video comes out. Subscribe to the channel. Go watch all my other videos. Go follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Will Mobs. That is WILLMOBS. I don't know the other rest of the way in sign language. Most importantly, I wanna bring to everyone's attention that next week's video is gonna be very different. It's gonna still be about books, but it's gonna be different. So let that simmer in your brain for the week and try to get some sleep with that gnarly information. Okay guys, thanks for watching, bye.
Let's talk about the epidemic of this here crack pipe.